I just celebrated 1,000 days sober. Yes! And for those of you who don't know how long 1,000 days they are, it's around 2 years and 9 months. And I'm so fucking proud of myself. Sorry for swearing. But I am so proud because it was a tough decision to quit drinking. And I will tell you in a moment, you know, the whole story and show you what I actually looked like in September 2023 when I had to quit drinking. So going back in time, I have always been drinking quite a bit, and what really gave me the push over the edge for drinking way too much was a surprise breakup I had in, what was it, May 2023. That it was a surprise breakup, and it was via WhatsApp. And I also lost my job at the same time, not because of drinking, but because the office here in Spain, I live in Torremolinos, very close to Malaga, southern part of Spain. It closed down, so it's just one event after another, and just pushed me over the edge because, you know, very often people say, oh, if you're heartbroken or having a bad day or a good day, you can have a drink. And I start drinking more and more and more. And towards the end, between May and September, I would say I would drink at least 2 to 3 bottles of wine. And this is the weekdays. And towards the end, definitely like August and September, I would have at least a half bottle of wine, like 2 big glasses, before I was going to work, just to get, you know, the shakes away and get into the mind space. Now I have to go to work and face people and actually face the public, because none of my friends knew that I was drinking, or colleagues, because I was what you're calling a functioning alcoholic. So I would just have 1 or 2 glasses of wine out or a cocktail with my friends, and then I would leave early, right before the supermarket closed, so I can go down and get my stash. And there I would normally drink around 2 bottles of wine home alone. And then there was that September. I actually quit drinking the 13th of September 2023, and this is what I look like right after my fall. And how can I say, it was a lucky fall because my friend Michaela from Denmark, she was down here and visiting me, and as usual I got super drunk. And I remember I was here in my apartment, and I'm quite tall, 190, 6'3", and I remember I was just thinking I'm gonna fall, and I didn't think about taking my hands out to, you know, to soften the fall. No, I chose to land on the floor, flat on my face, on my forehead. First I thought, oh my god, it's still so warm here in September, and I was like sweating. And then I realized when I was sitting in my sofa that I was actually covered in blood. And this is, you know, the scar you can see, like here. It was blood coming out, and she woke up, Michaela, from the bedroom, and she was like, Peter, Julius, we need to talk. And you know, when someone calls you by your full name, you know you're in trouble. I was so happy she was there. It was so embarrassing, one of the most embarrassing things I have ever experienced in my life. And now when I think back, if I just had landed a little bit different on my face or on my nose, I could have fucked up my face so badly, and it would have gone so terribly wrong. So what we did, we went to my doctor, and he said, you need to cut down on your alcohol abuse because you have been drinking so much, so you cannot just stop. So what I did, I was prescribed, if you can call it that, about 2 glasses of wine, half bottle of wine a day. And for me that was just like, what is this? Are you giving me shots glasses now or what? And then I went on Antabus. Antabus is prescribed by the doctor, and it makes you highly allergic to alcohol. Even if there's alcohol in your mouthwash, you cannot have it, and you need to go straight to the emergency room. So if you are thinking about Antabus, use it with caution and follow your doctor's guidance. What followed those next couple of days, she went back to Denmark, and I was kind of like on my own here in my apartment. And I was like, no, I need to stop drinking because it was just going out of control, you know, heartbroken, soon without a job. And before I stopped drinking, my plan with my future was actually to live on the street with my cat Beyonce. And I was looking for big boxes down in the supermarket because I was like, soon I'm out of job, and what am I gonna do? My alcoholic mind thought was not actually thinking about was stop drinking or drink less and go out and look for a job like normal people. No, absolutely not. So I was happy that I got the good support right there at the time. Otherwise I would not even be able to make this video today, because I strongly believe I would have been dead from alcohol poisoning or ruined my liver, kidney, my whole body. So good, I did not end up on the beach, not on the beach, on the street. I mean, and yeah, now when I think about it, it's like, oh my god, what a shit show I was. And also, now when I see the alcoholics, you know, sitting on the street or outside the supermarket begging for money, I look at them a completely different way. Back in the days when I thought I didn't have a problem, in reality I did. I was thinking, oh my god, what a loser you are, just get a life. Now I realize something went wrong in their life, and I have, you know, tried to talk to some of them and, you know, see if I can give them some help, because now I work with therapy, hypnotherapy, and helping people with addictions or self-worth or not feeling good enough, which helped me, by the way, together with AA meetings, and we'll get to my first meeting in just a moment. But yeah, if I haven't stopped drinking when I did, I would have been dead, living on the street and then be dead. And that was not good. One thing I wish that someone told me: when you stop drinking after drinking so much, you get the shakes like a heroin addict you see on TV. I had the same shakes, and I had them for about 2 weeks, and I thought, this cannot be healthy. My body needs alcohol, you know. And then I was thinking, you know, Jesus did make water into wine, and if we believe in the higher power, then, you know, my alcoholic brain started to make excuses for start drinking. However, I was like, I'm not really that religious, so, and I don't really believe that people can make water into wine. So yeah, thank God I didn't do that. I also went into my first AA meeting here in Torremolinos, and I remember it was so embarrassing, and I was thinking, you don't understand where I'm coming from, you have no idea. And I always thought they were weirdos, and I thought they were smelling funny. I have told them this, and we have laughed about it, and I realize now, like, actually we had so much more in common. Me personally, I don't go to a lot of meetings. I know it is recommended for some people. I also know it's recommended to do the 12 steps. I haven't done all of the 12 steps. I haven't had a sponsor. I don't go often. I have some good friends I'm talking with quite often. If I have the urge for alcohol or feel like something is not quite alright upstairs, I also have a lovely therapist in London. Her name is Bina, and she's been a really good, amazing help. So I do call her up if there's any urges. And back in the days, I also remember if something was not going good or it was going super good, you know, we celebrate with a glass of wine, because that's the alcoholic mind, you know, the brain disorder or whatever you want to call it. You start to make excuses to have a drink in any occasion, like, oh, I just cleaned the house, oh, it's now sunny, now it's great weather, you know, having a drink and excuses and all of that all the time. And that is just a state of mind that you believe you need alcohol. You don't need it. That's what you think you need. And also people say, oh, I have more self-confidence, or easier talk to people when I drink alcohol. Maybe, yeah, because you're letting your guards down. But also, if you have more self-confidence, you can actually approach people when you're completely sober. And that's why I'm helping people with hypnotherapy, PS. So yeah, it is possible to have a good life. It is possible to go to parties, which I do. I've just been to the gay pride here in Torremolinos. Yes, I do notice people, you know, everybody is drunk or taking drugs and this and that. I was like, oh, that used to be me. Oh, yeah, they're doing this and that. I also always have an escape plan if I'm going out with my friends. When they start to, you know, sounds a little bit too clever or slurring the words more than normal, then I know this is my cue to absolutely leave. So yeah, if you think you have an alcohol problem or need any support, or someone you know has an alcohol problem, you know what? Reach out to me. Just book a free consultation call, no obligation, and then we can just have a talk about it, because I do want to help people. And before I forget, I also want to say, beside my new favorite drink is obviously ginger ale, I also found this online. I don't get paid by this company, by the way, and there's no affiliate link, so you have to find yourself on Amazon. These are like water drops, different flavors. This is actually my favorite. So you just put them into water. There's no sugar in them, and there's actually vitamins. So you can put them in sparkling water or still water. However, warning, if you put them in sparkling water, make sure you dissolve them a little bit first in a other glass and then put them into the sparkling water. Otherwise, kapoo, you have sparkling, water with flavor all over your house, and it makes a little bit of a mess. So yeah, I just want to share my story. 1,000 days sober. I'm so happy. Very soon, in September 13th, I'm gonna be celebrating 3 years, and I just want to say thank you for people who has been supporting me, liking the videos, been sending me messages or anything. People just like give me a thumbs up or a heart. It really means the world to me. And I'm just happy that I'm not drinking, and I'm thinking less and less about it. And if you're new to AA or going to meetings, it will get easier, and it get easier over time. And I always say, like, one thing at a time, one day at a time, one step at a time, and it helps me to calm down my mind. So yeah, I just want to wish you all a lovely day, and if there's anything I can do or help, please reach out. All right, ciao from Spain. Ciao.